The city of New Orleans sleeps restlessly. But for me, its restless spirit has always been woven into my bones. Born into the lower Ninth Ward, I grew up in that place where hope and despair dance on crooked streetlights, and where the water's promise could turn into poison overnight. They say my grandmother, Kim Groves, stood for something bigger. In 1994, she was a mother of three, living in a shadowed home on Alabo Street. When a New Orleans police officer named Len Davis beat a teenager, she spoke up. She filed a complaint. And for that, she was marked. Davis hired a killer, and she was executed, shot down in cold blood. She never saw justice. That message, don't trust the police, cradled me before I could even walk. There are photos of her at the corner of her house. Fresh flowers still placed every day. Neighbors murmur about her murder, about the moment her children ran in, screaming. They say that moment defined the corner. It defined me. You're supposed to trust the police, a friend once told me. Why would you? You killed my grandmother. I never knew her. She died before I was born, but that shaped me. I grew up hearing the echo of gunfire before laughter. The Ninth Ward was fractured by poverty, by cracked homes, by that shot heard around a block. I left school in the 9th grade because what college degree would protect me from a bullet? I watched the teachers, the counselors, the white coats trace the red clay of our roads, promising, you can be whatever you want. They didn't know the mean corners I'd already seen, where survival was counted in grams and dimes, not diplomas. I saw kids younger than me, with eyes older than mine, smoking, slurring, shots fired across drug lines. That parade of normal drove me straight into it. I learned quickly. Respect was born from fear, from control. The streets weren't kind, but they were honest. They called me Wu, a nickname I didn't pick, but wore like armor. By 17, I'd already faced arrest, attempted second-degree murder, spent 2 years in a cell. My own father testified against me, his voice breaking, saying he didn't know his son anymore. A jury decided I was innocent, but something in me died in that cage. A shred of trust in the system, it never returned. Afterwards, I moved with purpose. I sold heroin. I joined the 39 Airs gang. Fat Tuesday, crack vials, cantaloupe dice in the corner, whispers through closed doors. I watched shadows negotiate deals before the sun came up. I felt the weight and power and boredom of life where violence was the only punctuation. I killed. They say 4 lives within 18 months. Cold confidence, not fits of rage. Witnesses saw my face. Bullets told no lies. A teenage drive-by, a retaliatory hit. I was pragmatic. They watched me. The FBI put eyes on my phone. The narcotics task force trailed me. I was near invisible and iconically present all at once. But everything matters until it doesn't. And for me, it all crashed down on Mardi Gras Day, February 13th, 2018. My target was a crowded block party on North Roman Street. Families, beads, drunken laughs. I remember the rhythm of the horns, steel pans, the sudden crack of an AK-style rifle, my rifle. 2 men fell. Byron Jackson, 21. Jamar Robinson, 26. I heard the shrieks, the prayer, the panic. Gunshots fell in seconds. 2 bodies, 2 permanent hollows in the community. 2 more wounded, like tapping glass with a hammer. I melted into the crowd. Just another shell-showed soul framed in colors. But cameras captured me. My phone pinged with location evidence. Witnesses recognized me. I posted later, bragging we left M dead on Mardi Gras. That post made the jury's job easy. But that trial became a nightmare of its own. One by one, 3 juries failed to convict me. The state tried, struck out, retried. My defense said, look deeper, look wrong. My grandmother's death proved the system was rigged. That law didn't serve us. My prosecutor said I was a menace, a ghost with hands redder than Mardi Gras beads. It took nearly 2 years. For trials. Finally, in October 2024, under a new unanimous jury rule post Ramos, I was convicted of 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. They sentenced me to life without parole. In the courtroom, I watched the families cry. The aunt, Jamar's aunt, said she cried every night since. I never apologized. Why would I? To what end? I didn't remorse. I didn't fear. They sent me to the Orleans Parish Jail, waiting to be moved to state prison, where every day felt like the calm before a storm. It was January 2025 when rumors started. The locks were broken, cameras fractured, staffing starving. Jail guards walked out on overtime. One said we're short-staffed, underfunded, underpaid. The city breathed another sigh, waiting for something to go wrong. Then came May 16th, 2025, at 12:23 a.m. It was quiet, except for a whisper of water. In cell block C, 10 men gathered. They removed a sliding door, quiet long enough. Behind a toilet, they discovered a hole big enough to squeeze through. They shoved, crawled, one after the other. They tore the toilet sink combo from its plumbing, greased the hole with their desperation, clambered through, blanket wrapped, like vultures through a cracked carcass. On the wall they scrawled, "To Easel and we innocent," mockery in their handwriting. Outside, they climbed through a loading dock. They scaled a barbed wire fence. They vanished into the night. The guard assigned to their pod, getting food. No alarm, no shout. No one knew for nearly 8 hours. By morning, the jail counted 10 missing inmates. The shock hit harder than any hurricane. Investigators unearthed a maintenance worker, Sterling Williams, 33, who admitted to shutting off the water to their cell under threats of violence from Antoine Massey, one of the fugitives. Without the water shut, the toilet couldn't be removed. They'd flood the cell the moment they tried. On May 20th, 2 women, Courtney Harris and Corvinte Baptiste, were arrested for providing food, phone communication, and safe passage to fugitives. Their roles were smaller, but crucial. The authorities called it an inside job. They suspended the staff. They questioned their own. They whispered about systemic failure in a jail under federal oversight. Fugitives fell one by one. Kendall Miles was found crouched under a car on rogue French Quarter streets. Gary Price, Robert Moody, Kenan Dennis, Corey Boyd, Len Van Buren Jr., Jermaine Donald, Leo Tate, all recaptured within 10 days in New Orleans and its fringes. Another, Antoine Massey, stayed at large until late June, posting videos from hidden rooms, documenting his freedom. All but one. That's where I walked away too, my ghost rising under the vault-like ceiling of a frail justice system. The federal and local manhunt made me public enemy number 1. A $50,000 reward dangled for information leading to my collar. Not just any inmates. I disappeared into my old neighborhood, the 9th Ward. Houses still bear my grandmother's name. Empty corners carry the weight of her murder. The same neighbors who laid flowers decades ago still whisper, "Why won't he turn himself in?" Maybe because the game is rigged from the start. I carry zero illusions about justice. I've heard the whispers. Maybe he stayed within city limits. Maybe he's gone deeper. Louisiana State Police say I have help. Family, ex-girlfriend, lifelines from inside jail. They say I used unmonitored iPad calls with my former jail girlfriend, Dariana Burton, to plot. She's charged with conspiracy. She supposedly passed me burner numbers and shelter intel of at least 16 people charged with aiding me. She's the closest. ADA Forrest Ladd, the man who prosecuted me, said I'm the worst human being he's ever met, but also very charismatic, which helped me to inspire loyalty even behind bars. He was right. I survived every pending conviction. I survived the jail. Now I survived the manhunt. An AP report said more than 90% of escapees are recaptured within a year. But the longer I'm free, the harder I am to find I'm not acting random. I'm acting calculated. I'm called dangerous, violent, manipulative. But the truth is, I'm cautious. I don't show up. They close in, but I slip corners. They find a phone, I've moved. They search a house, I'm gone. They knock a door 1,000 times. Maybe no one answers. Fear doesn't root me. It propels me. I'm 28. I'm an orphan of trauma, an architect of violence. I'm the product of bullets and broken justice. I am Derrick Groves. I'm alive. What did I owe the system but silence? The days blurred. Sometimes I'd sleep under the freeway, sometimes in a cousin's car. I cut my hair, grew a beard, ditched the jail shoes. I learned how to disappear, but I never stopped watching my back. They got 9 of us quickly, sloppy moves. Phones left on, one got greedy. Stole a car, didn't make it for 3 days. But me? I lasted. Every headline screamed my name, every siren whispered it, but I wasn't afraid. Not yet, because the city had already killed pieces of me. So what was left was the part that knew how to survive. I didn't want revenge, didn't want sympathy. I just wanted space, a breath, a pause, a second to figure out who I was when I wasn't a number. I remember one night, hiding in a warehouse near the river. Moonlight spilled through broken glass. I sat there, knees drawn to my chest, and I thought about my grandmother. What would she say? Would she be proud? Would she understand? Or would she turn away? That night, I almost gave up, almost turned myself in, but the stars outside whispered something different. Not yet, because I wasn't done, not with the world, not with the truth, and definitely not with the story. If the story gripped you, subscribe now and open the next story with us. There's always more beneath the surface.